Good afternoon for everybody. Uh, as you see, my speech title, I made my speech title, original speech title in French. I prefer speaking French if I may not speak in Japanese. But today I will do my best with my broken English. Shall we start with these dies for striking coin owned by Monet Paris on the left bank of the Seine? You will see later that they were engraved by Désiré Albert Barre, engraver general of money and stamp under Napoleon III, who succeeded to his father Jacques Jean. Henri Nulle Barre, the last descendant of Barre family, assumed it to be one of Cochigny's monies, which was engraved in 1878-79 by Jean-Auguste Barre, Albert's brother. But you certainly notice that its shape is very similar to koban, oval gold coin, in early modern Japan. If it interests you, major axis of the coin would be 55.3 millimeter. Minor axis 39.2 millimeter. Approximate size of koban made on Ansera 1859 to 61. This is the die for obverse side of the coin. It has the characters ichi ryōgin, 1 ryo of silver in center, points and 12 flowers of cherry blossoms probably around. On the reverse side, character Ginza Jose, silver coin maker in center, and points and 12 flowers around, just like the other side. There is also a frame to fix the dies. Most important is that these are the dies of steel for striking coins in Occidental style, not the mode for casting coins in Oriental style. There are some related documents in France and in Japan. In France, plans of the coin in archives of Monet Paris conserved by Centre des Archives Économiques et Financières. And a copy of Albert Barre's letters in Registre Barre, owned by Musée de la Poste. In Japan, some diplomatic documents in Zoku Tsushin Zenran and a diary of shogunal envoy Shibata Takenaka. Sorry. And yes, we are now. I'm now showing you the registers of Barre family. Musée de la Poste got them at auctions in 2002. Among these, there are two letters of Albert Barr copied, which show that it was him who engraved the dies of 1 ryo coin in 1866. The first letter is a letter to Président de la Commission des Monnaies Médailles, written in 8th of January 1866. I am showing you a part of the letter in French. I don't know if I have time for reading for some francophones in this amphitheater. And this is the second letter to Fleury-Erard, written in the 17th of January 1866. This is also the important part of letter written in French. Paul Fleury-Erard is a banker who was concerned with the Far East affair, at first with China, then with Japan, and by recommendation of Léon Roche, the French consul general in Edo, present-day Tokyo, the shogunate appoints him honorary consul general in France early in 1866. The Bank Fleury-Erard existed until 1950s, when it was bought out by the Bank Transatlantique. These letters tell us that Fleury-Erard had ordered silver coins for the shogunate around December 1865, and on the 8th of January 1866, Albert Barr finished to engrave the dies in a great hurry and applied to the president of the Commission of Money and Medals for striking 25 silver coins. Albert Barr delivered the coins to Fleury-Erard before the 17th, because they were expected to be shipped to Japan on the 18th. We can know more from Japanese sources. Before the 15th of April 1865, Japanese government requests French Consul General Léon Roche to assist in acquiring machine to produce money. Around mid-June, Fleury-Erard collects information on mintage from a certain Mr. Barneville or Barneville. Written in Japanese, so I cannot know the exact name of this Mister. And Monsieur le Baron Renoir de Bussière. This baron is Alfred Renoir de Bussière, director of fabrication at Monet de Paris, the imperial mint at that time. Shogunal envoy Shibata Takenaka leaves Edo for France after that only, on the 25th of June. Shibata arrives at Paris on the 6th of September, and almost at the same time, a plan of coins, a plan of the coin is handed to Leon Roche in Edo, which arrives at Paris on the end of November or early December. Because it was not clear enough to use for engraving, Fleury Erard requests Shibata to make a fair copy. On the 6th of December, Shibata hands to Fleury Erard the fair copy drawn by a member of mission, which will be reduced the size with photography. Shibata receives, as he writes, 2 new silver coins of 1 ryo from Fleury Erard on the 13th of January 1866, and leaves Paris for Japan on the 15th. On the same day, the 15th, Fleury Erard pays 1,759 francs to Albert Barr, and probably on the same mid-January, 30 francs 40 centimes to a certain Mr. Chevrillon. Finally, Shibata arrives at Edo on the 17th of March, and surely he delivered the coins to Shogun. Chevrillon's receipt is translated and copied in Zoku Tsushin Zenran. 12 francs for 2 leather boxes to put the coin in, which some letters on the tops, and inside was covered with velvet. 20 francs for 5 same boxes, and as 5% of commission, 1 franc 60 centimes are reduced. I don't know why the commission is reduced, but it's written so. You see that Shibata received more than 2 coins because there was 7 boxes made. There is Albert Park's receipt too. 1,500 francs as engraving fee, 100 francs for dies, 139 francs for 20 silver plates, and 20 francs as a striking fee, which was definitely 1 franc per coin. Now, it's clear that Shibata did not receive only 2 new silver coins of 1 ryo, but 20. Among 24 coins struck, 4 were not brought to Japan. We only know that 1 remained in Barre family, and Henri Renul Barre attached this picture on his thesis published in 1978. At present, we don't know where this coin has gone to after his death, like all other 1 ryo coins in France or in Japan. Let's have a look at the plans of the coin. This is surely the first plan received from Japan. It is written on a Japanese paper with Indian ink, and a French person, perhaps Léon Roche's subordinate, added an explanation in French to each description in Japanese. You see the offer side and the characters to engrave on the reverse side, and you see that it had to mute the side of the coin, and this has to be a fair copy made by a member of Shibata mission in Paris. We can analyze the characteristics of 1 ryo silver coins with these plans and the dies. Oval shape and monetary unit ryo come from Japan gold coin koban, like this. A gold coin man koban, which was issued from 1860. Design of flowers around the character, designs of flowers around, and the characters of Ginza Jose come from Japanese silver coin of 1 bu, like this. A silver coin Anseichi bu gin, which was issued from 1859. To strike and to mill coins are Occidental method. You see now a Spanish dollar issued at Potosi in Mexico, one of the coins called Yogin, silver coin of Occident in Japan, like Mexican dollars. The 1 ryo coin is a mixture of these 3 types of coin, a coin of transition stage. By studying about this first attempt of Japanese government to make an Occidental type of money, I expect to see their point of view about money in general at that time. Shibata's diary is interesting itself. For example, he visited the Monet de Paris, the Royal Mint in London, etc. He was probably assigned the task of looking into mintage. He left some description about them, which would be probably interesting in money historical studies. Merci de votre attention. We have no possibility to know the weight of the coin.
Question?
First, about the commission, it was used to give a discount, not a commission, when the price was paid on spot.
Oh.
So that might be the reason, the 5%. And I wonder if in the sources about the French médaillé, there is no elements about this. Maybe that would be interesting to inquire into that, because there have been several studies, and one very recent, on the works of French médaillés, which were considered prominent in Europe at the time.
Thank you. No, no.
So, it's quite similar to the issue of the late 19th century China. China used silver only by weight, never mint the by coin. But finally, in the late 19th century, they're going to issue the silver coinage. But there are two ways: the issuing, minting, the following Western way, like a silver dollar, the imitating the Mexican dollar. Another way is, according to their tradition, issuing, minting 1 yuan, 1両, the silver, the coinage. Perhaps there are some similar situation, because Japanese at the period silver also the usage of silver by weight, never minted silver coinage except for subsidiary coinage like a Nanryo Nishugin. So I think the situation is quite similar to the Chinese case. So any questions? Okay. So thank you very much. In spite of his French is very fine, but in spite of that, he was forced to present in English.